Hello, Amazon Alpha Wolves, and welcome to this course. Before we actually get into the meat of the course and actually start doing some research and setting up your account and all that stuff, there's a few crucial things you need to know before selecting your first product. And that is product criteria. What you should be looking for in a product and what things you should know before you select a product and actually enter into that market. So we're going to go through a few of those first before we get into the actual course. So the first thing you want to look at and make sure that you have is a profitable market and high demand. Now what that means is you want a product that is already selling well. The whole point of Amazon FBA and private labeling is finding products that are already doing well on Amazon, so that you don't enter a market that you have no idea whether your product's going to sell, or you're coming up with a new idea and hoping that it sells, or you think you've got the next big idea. The idea is we're entering into a market that is already profitable. We want to make money here. The point of this course is to make money. So you need to identify your product and see, make sure that it's already selling. And we'll do that in the course. You'll see how to do that. We're going to track it and track sales velocity and things like that and check demand using Google. But the very first thing is to make sure there's already a profitable market. The next is competition and reviews. Sure, the product might be selling already. You say you found a product that's selling well and is doing well, but the competition might just be too tough. If you're competing with a product that has 2,000 reviews or 3,000 reviews or multiple products with that many reviews, it's going to be incredibly difficult to compete with those guys because they're already established. They're in the market, they're selling, they're dominating, they're at the top of their game. And in order for you to beat them, you need to get more reviews than that. You need to get more sales than them. And that can be very, very difficult for your first product. So we're not going to do that. We want to enter markets that we can easily compete in and destroy our competition. We want to be at the top. We want to be those guys that other sellers are coming in and looking at and saying, we can't beat these guys. We're not even going to try. So that's what you need to do. Then with regards to competition as well, if there is competition and it's relatively tough, but you know that you can make a superior product, you can beat them, you can differentiate, you can create something unique. There's something in your product that you can do, that you can change, that you can edit, you can change the color, maybe add more features, maybe bundle it with something else. Those are things you can use to differentiate yourself from the competition and stand out from the crowd. Then preferably sells for $15, for more than $15. Now what that means is we want a product that's got the lowest price is $15. We don't want less than that because our profit margins aren't going to be that high the lower you go. It means the more products you have to sell, the smaller amount of profit you make per product. We want to make as much profit as we can per product. That being said, you don't want to go more than $50 either for your first product. However, you can go more if products are $150, maybe $200 for electronics. But we're aiming for the $15 to $50 range. And the reason for that is those are impulse buy ranges. So people see a product they like, they click buy and they purchase it. There's no second thinking, there's no consulting with family members, there's no, I don't know if I should buy this, I don't know if I should spend $100 on this. There's none of that. It's just click buy and people buy your product with a one-click buy. And the thing is, when you start going lower in the $15 range as well, your profits start getting eaten up by shipping, by Amazon's fees, by handling, all sort of things like that, and you really don't make that much money. So we're aiming for the higher range, but for your first product, mid-range. Then light and relatively small. So we want a product that's under 2 to 3 pounds preferably. If you can get it less, even better. If it's under a pound, perfect. The reason for that is weight of the product impacts greatly on shipping and size as well. So if you have a product that might be selling for a lot of money, say you're selling a baby's crib, like a self-assembled baby's crib, that product might sell for maybe $150, $200, and you can make a good profit on it. Maybe it only costs you $35, $40 to make. Your profit margins are going to be eaten up entirely by shipping, pretty much. So the bigger a product is, it's going to cost more to ship, it's heavier, and then Amazon also charges you more based on the size of your product for Amazon's handling fees and their shipping fees. So your profit margins get eaten up. So you need to make sure that your product is small, preferably can fit in a shoebox or less, and is light, is under 2 to 3 pounds. Then restrictions and gated products. What this means is products that are restricted by Amazon or categories that are restricted by Amazon. And that goes, for example, for things that you ingest, things that you put in your body that you eat. There's a lot more things you need to go through to make sure those products sell and that you can actually get them into Amazon, and Amazon will let you sell them because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Maybe you feed someone something and they get ill and you can get sued. Maybe you give them something that they put on their body and they get an infection, or they get a rash or allergic reaction or something like that, you can get sued. So you need to make sure the category you're selling in is not restricted and that Amazon allows you to sell that. And you can do that simply by contacting Amazon. You can contact seller support and ask them if the product that you want to sell is gated or the category is gated. And if you definitely know that you can sell in that category, go for it. If you can't, ask them what needs to be done, what sort of checks need to be done, what sort of certifications you need, and if you're able to get those, go for it. But if not, I would not do that. Then branding and the future. Now what this means is how far can you take this? How far can you take this brand? If you create this product and you compete with these other guys, are you able to expand that product line? Are you able to create a strong brand image behind it, or you're just doing it for a one-time thing, which is perfectly fine. We can do that. We can create a product, sell it, and then enter into a different niche at a different time. But think about your product. If it does have something that can expand, for example, maybe you start selling phone cases. Don't do that. A very competitive market and you won't make money. But for example, if you're selling phone cases, say for iPhone, maybe in the future you expand to more phone cases, to phone accessories, to headphones, to all sort of things within that category. So think about that for example, for a brand image. If you think about supplements, again, don't enter into supplements, sports supplements and things like that. You're ingesting them. It's very competitive. Everyone has a supplement line, so don't do that. But for example, a supplement line, the guys might start off with, say, one product that's really good and sells well. Then they expand to 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. Then they've got an entire product line all behind their same brand. So think about that. And then with regards to branding as well, look at competition with branding. Say the category you're entering into, or the niche you're entering into looks good and you look like you can make some sales, but just make sure that it's not dominated by a big brand or one brand, because if they're dominating sales, it could be people rely on their brand already and that's why they're making sales. So for example, Nike shoes. If you want to enter into shoes, making maybe running shoes, and people are searching for Nike, not just shoes, they're looking for a specific brand. So you're not going to make sales there. You're not even going to be able to compete. So don't even try. So those are just some of the things that you need to check out. And then again, with regards to branding, make sure there are no legal issues with the product that you're entering into. You need to make sure that the product that you're creating doesn't have any patents against it or on it, and that it's a unique product that you're able to create without getting into trouble. And that regards with their name as well. So if they're a brand name, they could have trademarks, they could have registered brand names, and if you enter into that and you copy them and do things like that, you're gonna get sued, you're gonna get destroyed, your listing's gonna get taken down, and Amazon's gonna close your account. So don't do those things. Just make sure that the product you're getting fits this criteria, and you'll sell well. You'll start making sales and you'll start making some money. What I've done is I've included all of these criteria into a short checklist in a file that you can download after this lecture. And just make sure that every time you find a product, you go through this checklist and make sure that it fits it perfectly, because we are looking for products that are going to make us money, not hoping for products that are going to make us money. So that's pretty much it for product criteria. Let's get into the course.